Alert.
CWF is live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm stuck here in the middle of nowhere, the darkness slithering the grapple to me. I look within to find the things that I don't always see.
I don't care about the trophy. I don't care about Johnny Weaver. I care about proving I am better than our champion. Because I can beat our champion any given day. And Drew, if you want a future, because I'm for a great one, I would stay back there. Because I promise you, if I see your face, your future and your career will end tonight.
Wow.
Words from Nick Richards.
Brad, he has really changed. This is not the same guy that I knew a couple months ago.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the first of the 2013 Johnny Weaver Memorial Tournament bouts. Please welcome out Andrew Everett!
Well, as the Ultra J Crown Champion, Andrew Everett makes his way to the ring. The 2013 Johnny Weaver Invitational Tournament begins right now. This has been a tradition in CWF Mid-Atlantic ever since the very first tournament way back in 2004. This year, 8 elite competitors have been invited to participate in the tournament. 4 first-round matches spread out over July and the beginning of August. The 4 winners advance to finals night on August 17th. The tournament begins right now with the Lost Cause Nick Richards about to go one-on-one with Andrew Everett in the match that will kick off this year's tournament. Brad Stutts and Ty Dillinger in the booth. Ty, both of these young men are guys who you have watched grow and mature over the years here in CWF Mid-Atlantic. Do you think either one of them has what it takes to win the tournament this year and leave with this trophy?
Brad, if you ask me who I'm picking, I'm telling you right now, I'm going ahead and call it. I don't know why, but I'm going Andrew Everett.
Andrew Everett undeniably on the roll of a lifetime right now. Appearances in Combat Zone Wrestling, appearances all over the country from Andrew Everett as he has begun to make his name ever since his star-making performance back in February at National Pro Wrestling Day. These two know each other well as Richards complains to referee Red Jones and the difference maker Jason Miller on the outside. Red Jones did not see it. Great manipulation of the official there from Richards. And a count out, we should point out, a count out will advance you in the tournament.
Brad, I would say this is the most prestigious tournament, I would say, all out in pro wrestling. I've been in one, didn't make it far, I was in a qualifying match. But,
oh, God!
Look at that. Don't hit him in the face, though, Nick.
Of course, Andrew Everett has really grown into his own since he took the Chiva Kid mask off, or we should say since the Chiva Kid mask was taken off for him by Trevor Lee. Many people say he is the biggest breakout star in anywhere in pro wrestling in 2013. Richards goes back into the ring here. Unique move from Richards. He could have taken the count out there. That might have been a lapse in strategy from Richards.
Brad, I would have let him get counted out because he can advance on the count out.
I think I would have too, especially with the difference maker, Jason Miller, on the outside.
Brad, I remember one match, speaking of Nick and Andrew Everett, I think it was here that he went, what, went to a 30-minute?
30-minute draw. The first time Andrew Everett had the Ultra J Championship back when he was still under the mask of Chiva Kid. These two young men, when they were early in their careers, headlined a CWF Mid-Atlantic event, went to a 30-minute time limit draw, and really, that was a matchup that really elevated both men's stock here in the Carolinas and the Mid-Atlantic on the local level. A lot of people took notice of that 30-minute draw that really brought the house down here some months ago. Excuse me, well over 2 years ago now.
You know, Brad, I can sit here and look at them. I've been in the ring with both of them, and I'll tell you what, there's some hard hitters, and they're no slouch to anybody. I dare anybody to try to go with them back and forth. They're both tough individuals.
There was a period of about a year straight that you fought Nick Richards in every town in the Carolinas. Steel cage matches, Falls Count Anywhere matches, everything that we could think of. Nick Richards and Ty Dillinger have gone at it.
He's a tough individual. I can tell you, he's one of the reasons why I don't mind sitting in this chair right here.
You're right, though. He has changed a lot. Richards and Jason Miller feel like pro wrestling will break your heart. Pro wrestling only tears up your body, tears up your mind, tears up your soul. Have so little respect for CWF Mid-Atlantic, the fans, so little respect for pro wrestling, they don't even put their gear on anymore.
I wasn't here, and to see this change, it just throws me off. But here's the guy that was, I remember, Brad, and you should know this, he was the most lovable guy that you ever wanted to meet.
Nobody I've ever met loved wrestling more than Nick Richards. When he was coming up in the sport, his formulative years, no one I've ever met loved wrestling more than Nick Richards. Just anywhere that had a ring, we would go. You've been there. You have seen Nick Richards and myself go anywhere, a ring set up in church parking lots and car lots, and anywhere that there was an event to go and wrestle and hone his craft and learn his craft, Nick Richards wanted to go. And along the way, he just became so disillusioned with wrestling, so disenfranchised. Cover from Richards almost surprised Andrew Everett Cross with a 3 count there. He just, I don't know, he just lost the fire somewhere, the passion that he had, and in its place is something totally different, because this is a totally different guy.
Yeah, I remember Brad had one of the few phone calls. We used to talk a lot, believe it or not. Me and Nick, and one of the few phone calls it was very weird. He was like, I'm just not in that place anymore. And I was like, I didn't understand it at the time. When oh my gosh, I understand it now. He's so aggressive and just
cover. Only a 2 count. Of course, our longtime fans will know that when the Chiva Kid was unmasked, it revealed Andrew Everett Cross, the son of longtime CWF Mid-Atlantic official William L. Cross. He came up with the Chiva Kid to get away from his father's reputation here in the Carolinas. He wanted to make his own name. He didn't want to be under his father's shadow. And along those same lines, now as he begins traveling the world, he has taken his first and middle name, Andrew Everett, and using that as his ring name, still trying to carve out his own niche. You know, he doesn't want that he doesn't want that stigma of being a second-generation guy, especially, you know, William Cross, so well known and so well respected in the Carolinas. Oh, great move from Richards.
They know each other so well, Brad.
Cross was the promoter on record for CWF Mid-Atlantic for a number of years. And double underhook. Boom! Oh, dropped him, drilled him. Cross was the promoter on record of CWF Mid-Atlantic for a number of years, has always been an official here, and with CWF Mid-Atlantic being cover, this could be it right here. Woo! That was close. With CWF Mid-Atlantic being such a powerhouse here in the Carolinas, a well-known organization, Andrew Everett Cross, he didn't want to be known as the promoter's son. That's where the Chiva Kid came from, and that's now where Andrew Everett has come from. He wants to make it on his own without his father's help or reputation. If he wins this Johnny Weaver Cup tournament, he may get there. Boom, great move, great move.
He's so fire, he's so quick.
He's sudden, it's what he is. These guys have done battle so many times before. Richards, I'm surprised he let that happen. Richards is dazed from those big strikes here. He's got to get his head in the game, and he cannot let the high-flying, fast-paced fury of Andrew Everett dictate this matchup.
Shoots him off.
Richards. Oh, God!
That's Was it a hot shot?
It was a hot shot, and he threw him with such velocity that Andrew Everett tipped all the way over. Andrew Everett is trying not to go to the floor. You know, Ty, you can speak to this as a wrestler. A lot of times if you need to catch your breath, you want to go to the floor. I dare say Andrew Everett doesn't want to go to the floor because he knows that's where Jason Miller is.
That is true, and that's one of the advantages that Nick Richards has. He knows. Oh!
Michinoku driver, good ring positioning. This is it. 2. Woo!
That
Close.
never die attitude of Andrew Everett. He's a tough individual to beat. He's very tough.
The winner of this match will be the first one to punch his card for the Final Four on August the 17th. The winner of this tournament will have eventually won 3 matches over the course of the summer, 3 tournament matches, including 2 in one night. And the winner of this contest gets the first of those prestigious Final Four spots, Ty.
And what people don't realize about the Johnny Weaver Cup, you can win this trophy. Look what it's done for Arik Royal. The people have gone on to become the CWF Mid-Atlantic champion. That's a fact. The prize is a shot at the championship. I'll tell you another thing a lot of people don't realize is in the summertime, which is when we have this tournament, it gets hot in this building in the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium. So to wrestle twice in one night on finals night and win twice in one night, you've got to fight through the elements. Sometimes it's more than 100 degrees in here. I'm telling you, but that's how they did it back in the day, though, Brad. That's why, you know, sweatbox. They didn't care. Uh-oh.
Oh, cutter. Nope. Did not get the cutter. Nope.
Oh!
Big kick.
He's got to get on him. I know he's fatigued, but he's got to get on him.
Cover. Center of the ring. Only 2. Big near fall there. Andrew Everett looks surprised. I think he expected that to be the 3 count.
Brad, I think everybody else in here thought it was going to be. A packed house, and I thought it was going to be it. But Brad, uh-oh.
Oh, boy, this might be it. Well, he is the most comfortable possibly of anyone else in the planet on that top rope. And when he's on that top rope, it can be anything that he surprises you with. The apex of agility. Andrew Everett up top. Ow!
Uh-oh.
The difference maker, Jason Miller, pulled him out of the ring. I don't think Red Jones saw it. Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness.
Woo! God!
Oh!
Good Lord! Crash and burn on the floor. Everyone is down. You can see the pain on the face of all 3 men. Jason Miller returns later tonight to face Donnie Dollars, but we could see a double count out here in this tournament match.
Brad, I had to stand up. I don't think Jason Miller might be out.
Miller is hurt bad on the floor. Andrew Everett needs to take advantage of this opening because if Miller gets back to his feet, he will live up to his name and be the difference maker in this contest.
Uh-oh, he's back, Brad.
Uh-oh, heads up, heads up, heads up. Miller's up. Red Jones needs to keep an eye on, oh, kick to that shoulder. Red Jones needs to keep an eye on Miller. No, springboard got nothing.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Boy, Andrew is so quick. German. 2 count only.
Richards will not die.
2 count only.
Brad, you notice, how would you, if you was managing Nick Richards still, how would you advise him to go against Andrew Everett? Because he's so quick and he's so lightning fast.
You got to beat him up. You got to hurt him. You got to take a leg out. You got to take an arm out. Anything that keeps him from coming off those ropes, anything that takes that out of the game, that's what you need. Anything that keeps him from being able to use those high-risk moves. No jumping, no pulling yourself up. Oh, God! Head scissors!
Uh-oh.
He got him! Andrew Everett secures the first spot in the 2013 Final Four.
Awesome match. Awesome match. First man to advance in the 2013 Johnny Weaver Memorial Tournament. Winning by pinfall at 10 minutes and 12 seconds. Andrew Everett!
Well, Miller is down.
Uh-oh.
Richards.
Uh-oh.
Richards going for a chair here. Well, Richards is throwing furniture in the ring. We don't need that here. Good Lord, we don't need that. Get these two goofs out of here. Richards' run in this tournament has come to an end.
Are we safe over here, Brad?
He looked at the trophy. I don't want any. Good Lord. Well, Andrew Everett advances to the Final Four after an incredible first round matchup. Woo!
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent tonight, representing the Aftermath, please welcome Trevor Lee!
Trevor, Chet, you know that I have the utmost respect for you guys. And tonight, you're talking about the Johnny Weaver Cup. Johnny Weaver was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He was a ring technician. Everything he did in the ring had a purpose, and that purpose was to win a match without breaking the rules. So tonight, the way I see it, we got probably the two best wrestlers in the tournament facing each other in the first round. So what I'd like to do in honor of Johnny Weaver is all of us agree we won't cheat tonight and we'll just wrestle clean, see who's the best scientific wrestler in CWF right here.
An interesting turn of events here at No Excuses 2013. The coach and Chet Sterling making a gentleman's agreement that no one will interfere in this contest.
And you gotta know that's when is the coach.
I think Red Jones has already found weaponry on the body of Chet Sterling.
Brass knuckles. I know one thing.
Another pair of brass knuckles.
Wow. I know one thing. This is I don't know. Coach has never told the truth about anything. So, and Roy Wilkins is his protege. He is
another pair of brass knuckles.
Wow. Wow.
That's 3 for 3 on the brass knuckles. Trevor wants the coach checked.
Oh, you automatically know he's holding something.
What in the world is that? Oh, that's that club. Michael McAllister's club that we've seen the All-Stars use as a weapon before.
Wow. Coach Gemini, this guy is despicable. He's not. Coach,
oh God!
Is that a knife? What? Why?
Look at the collection of weapons that has been gathered by referee Red Jones. It looks like a drug bust at ringside.
Coach is like he needs to spend some time in county for that knife. I know. There was a member of his All-Stars that spent some time in county, and
I don't think we need to go into all that.
Well,
what is he doing? He's checking the helmet. He's checking the towel.
Coach Gemini, this guy is. I mean, you can't say that he's a dummy because this guy's a master of. He's definitely a
cavity search.
Oh my God, Brad Stutts! If there's a cavity search,
cavity search. I think cavity search.
I don't know if Roy would mind a cavity search. I did witness him chew some weird gum that fell out of the coach's mouth.
Boy, he gnawed on that gum. Well, apparently all the weaponry has been cleaned. Pops has got that club at ringside. Security Pops has got a hold of that club in case he needs to crack a head with it during this match.
Now look, take away from the cheating and stuff, and I will make a comment on Coach Gemini's statement. You do have two of the best wrestlers.
Yeah, undeniable. The talent here in this matchup is undeniable.
That is one of the reasons that I opted not to wrestle for CWF in the month of July instead of the commentating booth, because I want to watch these guys. I want to watch. I want to study everybody. And this is a match to study because I could be facing either one of these guys.
Might be the smart move.
And, you know, Coach Gemini, this guy, referee Red Jones just needs to send him on to the back. This guy's the Pete Rose of wrestling. I tell you,
Pete Rose of wrestling. Wow.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he had a bet on Trevor Lee losing and a bet on his own member Roy Wilkins losing, so he's got his butt covered both
I don't think you can do that, can you?
He would find a way.
Got him by the ear, it looks like. Coach is calling it, that's a foul. Chet Sterling says there's no rule, you can't pull a man's ear.
I can't stand Chet Sterling. Coach Gemini, well, look.
Oh, we have to stop this match for blood loss.
Yeah, this is a classic example of an athlete getting overpriced money and babied, and that's what Coach is doing.
A pampered athlete. Wow.
Very pampered. Wouldn't be surprised to see these guys going straight.
Ring the bell.
I noticed, Jim, those socks.
They're pretty high. They're pretty tall, those socks.
They sound crunchy when he walks by, Brad Stutts.
Oh.
Roy Wilkins and Trevor back at the business. Oh.
Well, you cannot deny the talent of either one of these men.
No.
If they had a wrestling match, it would be a great one.
No.
And we could be in for a wrestling match amongst all the shenanigans tonight. We could still see a wrestling match when all is said and done. Thus far, it's been mostly shenanigans.
You know, Roy doesn't like to rely on it a lot. He likes to use that the dirty tactics stuff, but Roy can get it done bell to bell.
Several reverses here.
Another one.
Oh, Trevor Lee uses the tights to finally get an advantage. I don't think referee Red Jones caught it.
I know one thing. I definitely. This is why I have to be in the best shape, Brad Stutts, because of guys like these. Trevor Lee, this young kid, he has stepped it up since I've been away. He is definitely one of the premier wrestlers, not only in the Carolinas, in my opinion, in the East Coast. This kid, undeniably talented. Big arm drag. Roy's in control right now. This is you can't take nothing away from Roy Wilkins. He's learned from one of the masters, Coach Gemini Kid. This guy, he dominated the Mid-Atlantic, a former Weaver Cup winner himself.
Rake in the face.
No, I don't even think I can make a prediction in this match, honestly.
Wilkins has got the rope. He's not going to let him have that arm drag. Oh, boy, leapfrog. Oh, here we go.
I'll tell you what, when speed comes in, that's where Trevor excels. That was that arm drag. This kid is athletic. He's definitely got he's got the whole package. And he definitely does not respect anybody. And you can tell Chet.
God, no. No one.
You can tell Chet, he's definitely got that mentality.
Of course, the Ultra J champion, Andrew Everett, 2 weeks ago at Opportunity Knox became the first man to secure his spot in finals night on August 17th. All the way up and over on the takedown there from Wilkins. Look at Wilkins go. Head scissors, oh boy.
Rana. Trevor Lee with a strut. What is it? Is he? That's showing off.
Trevor Lee not making the most of this opportunity. I was going to say Andrew Everett. Oh, boy.
Oh,
God. Both men go to the floor here as they are battling to join Everett in the Final Four on finals night.
That's where Roy Wilkins' experience comes in, and that learning from Coach. That is how smart was that to hold on and yank Trevor back through to the floor. That is you know they had to take the wind right out of Trevor.
Let's talk about what we just saw, Lee Valiant. You've made no bones about taking the month of July off to rest your body, to not risk injury before this Weaver Cup. That dangerous spill to the floor could cause injury. Wilkins, no, he did not get kicked. He avoided a kick. He had it scouted. Wilkins knows his opponent in this thing. That kick is deadly from Trevor Lee.
Oh, big jawbreaker. Oh, whoa. Boy, Wilkins took a nasty spill, and he does not want to be on that end with Chet.
Could see a dive here. Whoa! Coach just hung Trevor Lee out to dry on the dive.
That was a nasty spill, Brad. Trevor could have cracked his head.
Exactly what we were talking about, Lee. You said you were going to take the month of July off to not risk injury before the Weaver Cup tournament. These guys are risking injury in this first round match. Any of those big spills to the floor could cause injury. Taking a breather is Roy Wilkins. Not going to risk his body, not going to risk his health, and that's where the advantage of someone like Coach comes in, advising Wilkins not to do that dive, not to risk injury. Oh boy.
And honestly, I don't like to give Coach credit for anything, but that's smarts. That's smarts.
Uh-oh, suplex to the floor? Oh boy.
Oh.
They're duking it out on the apron here.
Chet over here. I knew it. I knew it.
Trips Roy up. Heads up. This could be that dangerous kick.
No honor amongst thieves.
Oh, God. It echoed throughout the building. Wilkins is knocked out, and Chet Sterling is celebrating on the floor.
That was devastating. That could easily be the knockout blow right here, Brad Stutts. And
up to 4. We could see our first count out of the tournament here.
The little manservant, he's definitely not going to try and roll Roy in to let Trevor get the pin. He's keeping his distance.
A count out is just as good as a pinfall when it comes to advancing in the tournament. Great move from Trevor Lee. Cover.
That is, and there's no honor amongst these.
Great move from Trevor Lee. He rolled the man away from the ropes before he made the cover. He knew he was too close.
It's just these guys. I just find it just disturbing how cheap they'll take a win out on a count out. You know, somebody like Arik Royal who fought through 2 tournaments to win the Weaver Cup.
Oh, good Lord.
That whistle is the most annoying thing in this company.
More than the slime Cecil Scott?
You think some of Cecil's slime is on that whistle?
Oh, disgusting.
That is disgusting, and I apologize to all our viewers that heard me say that. And Trevor Lee, he's definitely being very methodical.
Trevor Lee shoots Wilkins off.
And that's a bad corner to shoot Wilkins into. You see who's lurking behind her there.
Absolutely, the coach is right there. Oh!
Drop kick, one of the prettiest drop kicks that I've ever seen.
Wilkins looked like he tried to put the brakes on, but he did not do it soon enough, and Trevor Lee still got the drop kick and the pose.
See, that's what this kid, he still loves that flash. That's
he does.
Kid's problem. He still loves that flash.
And it was a 1 count that could have potentially been a 3 count if he hadn't taken that extra time.
Trevor, he is one of the best wrestlers, and he could be great if he focused and not wanted to show off and just rub it in people's faces. And that respect is just not there for anybody.
Trevor up in the face of referee Red Jones as Roy Wilkins tries to recover on the far side of the ring. Trevor now stalking Wilkins here.
I don't think Trevor wanted to do anything to get Red to disqualify him in this. That is not what Trevor wants.
No, it's all about advancing in the tournament. Oh, Trevor Lee.
Big gut wrench.
Oh, boy. No, he did not get the gut wrench.
Big swinging neck breaker.
Roy Wilkins and the coach have studied their game film.
Definitely.
Every big move that Trevor Lee has attempted, Roy Wilkins has had an answer for.
And that's what you got to do. You got to study your opponents. That's how you win matches. That is how you get the advantage. You can't go into something blind. Oh.
Springs over. Wilkins, what are we looking for here? He's looking for something. Fancy arm drag, takes the man down, heads up, nope. Wilkins has got to make contact,
Power slam.
The fire in the eyes of Roy Wilkins on that power slam.
That could be it. He's throwing a lot of flash out there. He is putting a lot of sizzle on that steak, Brad Stutts. He's showing off himself, but
Wilkins is fired up here. We do not normally see Wilkins get this emotional, but he wants to advance. He wants his name on that Johnny Weaver Cup trophy.
And you can't take it from either one of these guys. Both former Mid-Atlantic television champions. Both really tough champions.
Wilkins is experiencing some equipment failure, it looks like, trying to get Red Jones. Wait, no, he's just trying to create a diversion for Red Jones as the coach is on the far side getting in some cheap shots.
Believe me, the only time Roy has wardrobe malfunctions is at parties around females. This guy, he lurks around them women. He knew what he was doing. Coach just took a cheap shot.
Calculated move there from Wilkins.
But see, if you notice, that's where Roy has the advantage. He is somebody of the smarts and all the experience in the years of Coach Gemini Kid, who has been down the road. He's put a lot of miles in his boots, and Chet Sterling does not have that.
Right, the veteran presence in one corner as opposed to the rookie in the other corner.
There's no advice Chet Sterling could give Trevor Lee in this match that would benefit Coach Gemini. He's given Roy a lot of advice, and you can tell Roy has benefited greatly.
Roy is definitely in control right now. Trevor Lee packs such power behind every blow.
And does it without respect. He definitely wants to kick you in the face and let you know he does not care. He hopes you lose all your teeth.
Uh-oh.
Look.
Coach with the foot. I don't think Red Jones saw it.
Look at that.
Could have been a disqualification there. Coach moving quickly. Roy Wilkins, we're going to see a big superplex here. Wilkins is trying to make sure he's got a firm landing on that superplex. And
what do we got, Chet?
Oh!
Chet saved it. He saved Trevor Lee.
He absolutely did. Coach was trying to divert the referee just in case.
That kind of backfired on Coach, too.
Trevor Lee, oh my God.
Big springboard and nothing.
Springboard got absolutely nothing. Wilkins.
Going for the kill. Big.
Oh! Face first into the buckle! And he kicked the buckle!
Any of those kicks to be a knockout blow. Big clothesline.
Turns the man inside out.
Trevor's going for knockout blows here. He's going for knockout blows here. He realized that Roy can play the game a lot better. Trevor's going for knockout blows. And that is exactly what he has to do.
Count of 4. A double knockout would eliminate both men and create a bye in the final 4. Wilkins is up. Trevor Lee is working his way up now.
Big European uppercut. Big form to the face. Look.
Somebody's going to need to make something happen here.
Look, going for pro. Roy is a slugger. He's definitely going for. But Trevor just met him. These guys. Uh-oh.
Belly to back. No. Gut wrench. Got it that time. Trevor Lee in position to win. Only 2.
Big guy. I'll tell you, he's lucky Gemini didn't pull him out the ring. That is a you gotta get away from a man with that much knowledge.
Yeah, 100% agree.
2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes.
Trevor Lee could be going for the Orange Crush here. One of the most dangerous and devastating moves in wrestling. He did not get it.
Ankle picked him down.
Wilkins might be dazed here. Nope, sends Trevor Lee out again. Nope, wait, what do we got here?
Uh-oh.
Moonlight Drive, maybe?
Uh-oh.
Oh, God, X Factor drove his face into the canvas. Woo, almost had him. Thought it was it right there.
This is a, who wants it more right now?
Wilkins could be going for the golf swing. Less than a minute and a half remains. If these guys go the time limit, it will be a draw, and neither man will advance in the tournament.
Oh.
Oh, God! Powerful German.
Oh.
Did not get the 3, though. 1 minute remains.
This is definitely going to be a
1 minute.
One of them's got to go for the quickness or a knockout.
A draw will eliminate both men. Knee strike got nothing. The kill shot got nothing. Wilkins trying to take the knee out. Golf swing. A draw will eliminate both men from the tournament.
They don't have long at all. That could have been easily it. That easily could have been it.
We're almost out of time here. A 15-minute draw will eliminate both men from the tournament here.
You have 30 seconds left on this clock. They have got to go. This is crunch time. Trevor.
Roll up.
Oh,
God, kicked him. Orange Crush. No, did not get it. Oh, he knocked him into the coach. Rolling reverse. No. Oh, God, he got Trevor Lee.
1, 2. Oh. Brad, we're under 10 seconds here. We're under 10 seconds here.
5 seconds.
They're not going to make it. This is it. We're going to see both men eliminated from the tournament. It's a time limit draw. Both men are eliminated from the Weaver Cup tournament. Coach is throwing the flag.
I tell you what, these guys,
the crowd is calling for it.
At last minute, they went. It was going for knockout.
This match ends in a draw. Both men are disqualified.
The wrestlers have got to agree to 5 more.
5 more minutes.
They're going to give it to them.
We will not have a draw. One man will advance in the tournament. We've only got 5 minutes, though. Chet Sterling is trying to make something happen immediately here.
Oh.
Trevor Lee in the confusion just sent Roy Wilkins to the floor here. Oh, God!
That's the knockout.
The kill shot!
That's
in the confusion. Trevor Lee has won it. Trevor Lee advances to the Final 4, capitalizing on the confusion. Coach is throwing the flag.
I know when it comes down to me and Trevor anywhere in that tournament, I'm definitely watching that knee. I'm studying that. Roy Wilkins is out.
15 minutes, 55 seconds.
A nail biter in every sense of the word.
It's the first of 2 first-round matches of the 2013 Johnny Weaver Memorial Tournament. This is one fall, 15-minute time limit, and this is Lee Valiant!
I'm going to own this tournament.
Aric Andrews!
Good fight. Come on.
Bell sounds. It is the first round of the Johnny Weaver Cup tournament. Aric Andrews and Lee Valiant are nose-to-nose in center ring. Evan Banks and Bobby O'Neill are joining me here in the booth. And Evan, the entire history of these men that has kind of developed over the tournament, it was back at Absolute Justice. The Killbillies and Lee Valiant were a 6-man team. The winner of the fall would get a spot in the tournament. And a lot of people say that Lee Valiant stole a pin from the Killbillies in that matchup, Evan.
I'm not going to say he stole it. I mean, everybody's got to take opportunities, and I don't blame Lee Valiant for taking it. But, I mean, you got to know, like, these are my boys right here. And this is going to be hard to watch and just try to, you know, call this without picking a side. Like, I can't.
Lee Valiant jumped on the pile and got the pinfall. Commissioner Corey Edsel, in what turned out to be his last act as commissioner, ordered that both Andrews and Valiant would both make it in the tournament. These guys continued to have words since that matchup back on June the 15th. And finally, here we are August 3rd, and they are paired off in the opening round of the tournament. The last 2 opening round matches are tonight, and we paired these guys off and said, let them go at it here. The winner will move on to finals night on August the 17th. And both these guys, you know, everyone wants to win this tournament. Everyone wants their name engraved on that trophy, and every wrestler would like to have the guaranteed Mid-Atlantic title shot that comes with winning the tournament.
Oh, of course.
But I dare say these are the two most determined men in this tournament. The Killbillies, after an amazing 2012, it has not been an entirely unsuccessful 2013, but it's been a rocky 2013.
Yeah, it was definitely not as good as 2012.
And Aric Andrews wants to put the Killbillies back on the map. We've talked to you guys in the weeks leading up to this match, and you guys have got your full support behind Aric Andrews in this thing. It's not like one member of the team is in the tournament. You guys are looking at it like the Killbillies are in this tournament.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We are the Killbillies. It's, you know, Legion. That's,
you know, we have our affiliation definitely with Aric, and we love Lee to death, you know, because we go back with him so far. We're just hoping that after all this is over, we can kind of go back to being civil again, you know?
So you've got Aric Andrews, who wants to put the Killbillies back on the map, and you've got Lee Valiant, the former Mid-Atlantic champion, was the #1 man in this organization a couple of years ago. Uh-oh, front suplex on the floor? Oh no! Oh, suplex on the floor. Lee Valiant, unquestionably, was the #1 man in this organization a few years ago, had the whole Mid-Atlantic in the palm of his hand, and lost his grip. Took over a year sabbatical from CWF Mid-Atlantic. We didn't hear from him for a long time. Lee Valiant came back in January of this year and set about wanting to become the Mid-Atlantic champion again. If he wins this tournament, he gets a guaranteed title opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity Lee Valiant has had to climb back to the mountain. Oh God, slammed him on the floor. Since he came back in January. So both these guys are so focused, so determined, and both these guys so badly want to move on and advance in this tournament.
I gotta say, I mean, Lee deserves to be the champion, and I know that, but I'm pulling for the Killbillies. I've got you know, this is what it's going to boil down to is we like I said, we had a great 2012, and I want to have a great 2013, and I think for the Killbillies is a good start. Oh, spear.
Big spear from Valiant, cover only gets 2.
All right, Lee went for the pin. This is rough to watch. I love both of these guys. Bobby, you know this.
Well, of course. I mean, you know, Lee Valiant's got such a big history with us. You know, not a lot of people know he was one of the guys that said, you need to come down here. And obviously Aric Andrews is more than just a friend. He's blood, you know?
Oh, yeah, he's a brother.
But right now he's having a rough time at Lee. Oh, Lee into a choke sleeper.
Guillotine.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
Could see a submission here, Evan Banks.
He's winded, but I think he's got more heart than that. I don't think he can tap.
He's got a lot of heart, but he can still get choked out.
Come on, Aric.
Banks Andrews is in bad shape in the ring, man.
Come on, Aric.
Oh, fighting out.
There we go.
He's fighting out.
Come on, there you go.
Both men now a little bit stunned. This has been a hard-hitting early moments of this bout here. Oh, God.
Yeah, there's not been a slow part. They have went at it as soon as that bell rang. It looks like he's in a bad way. Valiant
is in firm control of this thing. Aric might have just got his bell rung on that kick right there. Slice bread number 2.
Is he going for it?
No.
No.
Boom! Great perfect plex, great ring positioning, only got 2. The winner will move to the final 4. The winner will advance to finals night. And these guys in the early moments of this bout are putting it all in line. You see, Aric Andrews has got that Barry Windham-like glassy-eyed stare. He has really had his bell rung here in the early moments of this contest.
You know, even at this point, whoever's going to win this thing, you know, they're going to deserve it by the end of this match.
You hear Valiant, I think you overheard him talking to Red Jones. He said, I am going to win this. These two guys, these two friends, not taking it easy on each other whatsoever.
And I think that's the way it needs to be. if they're going to decide who's going to be the better man in this, they just need to go out there and beat the hell out of each other.
A little bit of a gentleman's agreement to just fight it out.
Yeah.
Let the chips fall where they may.
It's the Virginia way, man. It's what we do.
Boom!
That about took his head off.
All the way to Lee Valiant comes down on Aric Andrews. And Andrews is hurt. Now a count out will advance Lee Valiant into the Final Four. So if Andrews does not make it in, Valiant will go to the Final Four. Does not have to be a pin or submission. Any way of winning will advance a man to the Final Four. Bobby O'Neill has left the booth. He's trying to inch his way towards ringside. Famous or Valiant puts him down. Cover. No. Bobby O'Neill looks real nervous here in the booth.
I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just, you know, we need Aric to win this, man. Come on.
A look of fret washing over the face of both Evan Banks and Bobby O'Neill here in the booth with me. Brad Stutts and the Killbillies calling the action here as one of their own is in this first round tournament match against Lee Valiant. Oh! Was it a smart move or a lucky move? It worked either way. I think it was luck. I don't think Andrews realized what happened, but he realizes it now.
Here we go.
Guys in the first matches of the night tonight have lived or died by coming off those ropes. Gonna see a big superplex here? Yes, we are! Boom! But Andrews has taken such a beating, he cannot capitalize on it in a timely manner.
I've got to believe that if Aric can cover him, that's it, man.
Fans here are rallying behind Valiant, some vocally supporting the Killbillies. But it seems at this point that Valiant is the crowd favorite. Andrews gets the hand on top.
Ah, my God.
Close.
That was very close.
Are you affected at all by the fact that the crowd has seemed to rally around Valiant? Is that going to throw Aric Andrews off his game at all? He's used to hearing the cheers and the adulation from these people.
And I know, but he understands that, Lee's just as much a fan favorite as Aric is, and I think he knew that going into this. I don't think it's really, if it does affect him, I don't think it'll be as much.
Andrews really looks like he has been through a war here. Valiant is so aggressive in the opening moments of this matchup. Boom! Hooking clothesline.
Here we go.
Side slam.
Aric's hitting his stride, man. He's hitting his stride.
Here we go. Come on, Aric. Oh.
Off the second rope. Could be that elbow drop. Yes, it is. Oh, got him. Who wants it more, Andrews or Valiant? Cover. Great positioning on the cover. Aric Andrews had all of his weight on the shoulders. I think Andrews might have got popped in the mouth from Valiant earlier. Starting to see a little bit of blood in the mouth of Aric Andrews. As hard as these guys have been throwing blows, it would not surprise me at all if he got popped in the mouth.
I'm surprised both of them aren't bleeding at this point. This has been rough.
Oh, could be the knee trembler.
He's setting up for it.
Aric Andrews is getting ready. No, did not get the knee trembler. Spinning toe hold, figure four. No, figure four. Figure four from Valiant. Great maneuver to capitalize on Aric Andrews hitting that buckle. That was a thinking man's move right there.
5 minutes remain.
Come on, 5 minutes.
Just past the 10-minute mark in this thing.
Come on.
Andrews is going to reverse it. He's going to reverse it unless he can stop it. Bobby O'Neill has gone to ringside, and Aric Andrews has reversed it. All the pressure is on Lee Valiant. You see the pain on his face, but Valiant has made it to the ropes. Bobby O'Neill going to come back to the booth here. No! Sharpshooter from Aric Andrews!
Yes, pulling back.
Andrews is going to try to win it with the sharpshooter. Great thinking move here. Andrews is going to try to win it with the sharpshooter.
He is positioned great. This is good.
Just keep leaning back, buddy.
Valiant will have to go all the way to one of the ropes or break the hold.
No,
Great thinking from Valiant. Went right back to that knee that hit the buckle.
I got to say that was smart. I mean, he was right in the center of the ring. It would have been too much for him to try to pull himself to the rope.
I mean, it was smart by Lee.
It was smart by Lee.
I just want somebody
Come on.
Somebody get up, because we can't end it.
No, I don't want it to end like this.
Count of 6.
All right, Eric's up. Lee.
Oh, Valiant going right back to that knee.
To the knee.
Great move. Great thinking from Valiant. Back to the knee. No.
Oh, pushes him off.
Oh, God. Valiant hit the buckle. Uh-oh. Andrews has got to support that leg. No. Oh, cradle out of the Russian leg sweep. And Valiant wins it. Just a split second ahead of Aric Andrews. Lee Valiant goes to the Final Four. Lee Valiant advances to finals night.
11 minutes, 39 seconds. Your winner, advancing to the 2013 Weaver Cup Finals, Lee Valiant.
Lee Valiant will join Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett as 3 of our Final Four. But what a hard-fought contest we saw between Valiant and Aric Andrews. Lee Valiant, you have said it is your destiny to win this tournament. You are now in the Final Four.
Next week we go champ. It's a party now. I'm gonna tell you people, I didn't come here to take a night off, and I ain't coming to take a night off at the Weaver Cup Finals. I'm coming to win this whole damn thing. I spent over 1.5 years in exile from this place after I let every one of you down. And it's a long, hard road out of hell, but I'll be damned if I wouldn't go through it to prove everything to you that I can be the man here at CWF Mid-Atlantic one more time.
The 2013 Johnny Weaver Memorial Tournament is scheduled for one fall, the 15-minute time limit. Making his way to the ring, would you please welcome Chet Sterling!
I'm so good, it's a bad rap. Say then you got a bad ad. Garrett better run, no matter bad ad. You ain't going nowhere like a bad nabby. So big, I told her, look back at it. Look back at it. Look back at it. Then I put back, grab it out of the cosmetic. I didn't say it. And it. I didn't say it.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome your Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion and Weaver Cup champion for the past 2 years, Arik Royal!
A state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track is just informed like a slug to your chest. Got the best on your chin in the
city is set. We let sunshine set. Build a boss and envy. The set where you never run against no empty. It fits me. On the mission for that queens. Leave me when the making machines. So the
And here we are, Brad Stutts and Chris Lee are in the booth. It is the final opening round bout of the 2013 Johnny Weaver tournament. The winner of this match will get the final spot in the Elite Final Four that moves on to finals night. Chris Lee, a lot of people have said that even though the brackets are not arranged in this order, a lot of people have said that they feel like this is the #1 seed against the #8 seed. Chet Sterling has been surprising people all summer long. You've been in the ring with Chet Sterling. I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Are you looking for another upset tonight? Does Chet Sterling have what it takes to put down the Mid-Atlantic champion and advance in this tournament?
Brad, he absolutely has what it takes. Chet has been one of my toughest opponents. Even though I have beat him more times than he's beat me, he's been one of my toughest opponents. You never know. He's so slippery and so sneaky. Can't really get your hands on him like that.
Well, we saw as Arik Royal was making his way to the ring, we saw Royal looking behind his back, checking to see if there were any other members of the Aftermath lurking. Earlier tonight, Trevor Lee told Chet Sterling that he was on his own against Arik Royal. But can we even trust Trevor Lee? Is it to Trevor Lee's advantage or disadvantage if Chet Sterling joins him in the Final Four? We know that Trevor Lee will face Andrew Everett in the next round. So if Trevor and Chet meet, it would not be until the tournament finals. But that's the question. You have to put yourself in Trevor Lee's shoes. Is it to his advantage or disadvantage to make sure Chet Sterling advances in this tournament?
That's an interesting dynamic, Brad. And I think either way, he'll try to control Chet. You know, Trevor, that's how he operates. He lets Ike operate under control.
He says that he will not make an appearance tonight in this match. He says that Chet is on his own.
We'll see. You know I know about the Aftermath.
Absolutely. They have teamed together to conspire and get many victories in CWF Mid-Atlantic over the years. Arik Royal is firmly in control now of the rookie Chet Sterling. For a period of time was known as the Aftermath Apprentice. When Trevor Lee took control of the Aftermath, he kind of bumped up Chet Sterling's rank, so to speak, made him a full-fledged member. And in fact, it was 2 weeks ago that we saw Ben Tyler pretty much kicked out of the Aftermath.
That shocked me.
So that pretty much makes Chet Sterling second in command right now.
It does. I know that Trevor has been grooming him for a while now, and, you know.
A great move, Royal. Oh, wow. Good move from Chet, though. Oh.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. He's slippery, he's sneaky, he can definitely hit you at the right moment.
Chet will do anything he can to get ahead. He will try to make the most of any opportunity. Like I said, there are no official seedings in the Weaver Cup tournament, but a lot of people feel like Arik Royal Cover, the two-time tournament champion, is the front runner to three-peat and win the tournament once again. And a lot of people feel like of the 8 men selected for the tournament this year, Chet Sterling was the long shot. I don't know. Chet Sterling has been on a summer-long undefeated streak that Arik Royal is looking to snap in this matchup. We've seen him survive against Osiris, against Lee Valiant, against Andrew Everett. We've seen Chet Sterling survive time after time after time all summer long.
Survive is the correct word. That's what Chet Sterling does.
Oh, yeah, kicked Arik Royal down. Great move. Nope. Too powerful. Too strong is the champion.
Oh, wow.
Powers him up. No.
Slipped out.
Oh, the bin breaker from Chet Sterling. 268 pounds came crashing down there. Cover, lazy cover from Chet Sterling. I do not think you're going to beat the Mid-Atlantic heavyweight champion that way.
That move hurt him as well. That move hurt him as well. He had 260 pounds on his back. Chet Sterling probably weighs about 200 pounds. I know that probably hurt. He's giving up some weight right there. Oh, vicious kick to the gut.
Oh, Hulk smashes him down to the canvas. Aric might be looking for the sick kick, might be looking for the football tackle. Anytime, that's one of the things that makes Aric so dangerous is when you try to create space, he'll just charge across the ring and take your head off. Did not get it right there. I think he was just going for a big avalanche-style smash.
There he goes right there. You said, Chet, you used the word surviving earlier. He is surviving, and he will survive through anything. You're going to really have to, you're really going to have to give it to Chet Sterling. That was a vicious, against the ropes.
Chet going to look for something here. Well, don't matter. Whatever he was looking for, he ain't going to get it, Chris Lee.
Oh, wow.
The power of Arik
He's right
Royal.
back up. He's right back up.
Rough Rider takes him down. That big leaping leg lariat from Chet Sterling. You got to think Trevor Lee taught him that big roll. Cover 2-2-2.
It's amazing that he kicked out of that. That move right there really crushed my windpipes a few times. I've taken that move a few times, and man, that's such a vicious move.
I dare say there may not be a better athlete in CWF Mid-Atlantic than Trevor Lee. You've got to think that Trevor Lee is the one that helped teach Chet Sterling how to avoid situations like that where you're being thrown off the top rope.
All the time, Brad. I always see them in corners, and he's always helping them out, giving them little tips and tricks, and they're just always conspiring and coming up with certain strategies. Chet Sterling's definitely taught very well from Trevor Lee.
Fires up. Does Arik Royal. The champion hits so hard, he strikes so fast. That's the thing, is he explodes with his power. It's not somebody that just stands there and punches you. Oh boy! Big power bomb into the buckle, drilled him. Football tackle sends Chet Sterling all the way to the floor. That will hurt for days.
That definitely will hurt. Looks like he's holding his head right, and he's holding his midsection and his head right there.
I think Aric doesn't even know where Sterling landed. I think it even surprised him that Sterling crashed to the floor like that.
With football season coming up, that really got me ready for that.
Of course, it was 2 weeks ago, Arik Royal and Donnie Dollars put down Nick Richards and Jason Miller in a hot main event, and Aric said he would defend his trophy tonight.
What is Nick Richards doing out here?
Aric said Aric said he would defend the trophy tonight, and that's exactly what he's doing. Oh God, Miller has got a hold of Royal. Oh my God! Oh God, DDT on the floor!
What is happening?
That DDT on the floor has crippled people all summer long.
What is he?
Good God! What is happening here?
What does Nick Richards have to do?
Well, it was 2 weeks ago that Royal gave Donnie Dollars the first win in this feud. You've got to be kidding me, man.
Oh, man. Now,
wait, no way.
If Chet wins, is this advantage aftermath?
A count out will advance Chet to the Final Four. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Royal is barely moving on the floor. You've got to be kidding me.
If Chet wins this...
Wait. It's over. Chet Sterling has advanced. The three-peat will not happen. Richards and Miller have ruined the three-peat. Chet Sterling advances. Oh my God.
Chet always finds a way.
7 minutes, 46 seconds. Your winner via countout, advancing to the Final Four, Chet Sterling.
Oh my God, Chet Sterling has advanced. Oh my God, Arik Royal is not going to finals night for the first time in 3 years.
I told you it was happening.
Arik Royal is not going to finals night for the first time in 3 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, first round tonight is semi-final action of 2014 Johnny Weaver Memorial Tournament. This battle is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Please welcome Trevor Lee.
Welcome to finals night. We are streaming live worldwide from Gibsonville, North Carolina at the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium in the shadows of the Greensboro Coliseum. Brad Stutts and Cecil Scott are in the booth. Cecil, it's the culmination of everything all summer long. It's the culmination of this summer-long tournament. Tonight, one man will have to win 2 matches in one night to win the tournament, but of the 4 men that are left, one man is at a big, big disadvantage already.
A giant disadvantage.
And that man in question is making his way to the ring right now. We found out hours before we went on the air, he suffered an ankle injury last night in Charlotte, North Carolina. But we are live as life can be, and this shows you how much this Weaver Cup tournament means. This kid has got a lot of guts. Andrew Everett, a lot of people say it is his family business at CWF Mid-Atlantic. A lot of people say that it is in his blood, that perhaps the Weaver Cup is his birthright. Referee Red Jones calling for the bell. Trevor Lee petitioned hard for a forfeit win. Andrew Everett would not let him have it. Andrew is gonna gut it out here in front of 200 plus. That is 420. Trevor went for the knee right away. And Andrew is firing away on Trevor Lee. Andrew firing away in the corner. And Andrew had to know that Trevor was going to try to go for a hot start and saw it coming. I think that ankle may have gone. Oh, God! Trevor knee. Oh, my God! I think the ankle would not protect him. Oh, my God! With the knee strike, Trevor Lee is going to the finals. Well, even with the injury, I did not expect such a quick victory. When oh God, he stepped on the ankle. When Red Jones was backing Andrew Everett down, the ankle gave away.
In 33 seconds, advancing to the finals, Trevor Lee.
And at this point, I may have to change my pick for tournament winner with that quick victory. Well, we've got Andrew Everett down in the ring. Cecil, at this point, you've got to say that was a bad call on Andrew Everett's part. He wanted to do it, but literally, in just seconds, that ankle gave away on him. I know for a fact I saw him in the back. Drew is wearing 3 braces on that badly sprained ankle. And a lot of tape.
The canvas is uneven. It's not a firm surface for walking on, and literally within seconds, that ankle gave out on him. Cecil, a courageous effort, but was it a bad move career-wise for Everett to try to wrestle tonight?
For a kid his age, I think it was a bad move. You got to think of the future. And as someone who suffered a major ankle injury in the ring, I know what he's going through. And you want to gut it out for such a prestigious tournament, but you got to think smart.
Trevor Lee is in the finals, and this is going to be a real developing story, Cecil Scott. This is going to be the story of the tournament because, historically speaking, on finals night, the man who gets the advantage is the man who has been able to conserve the most energy in his first match, the man who had the easiest time in his semifinal match, and Trevor Lee did not have to exert a lot of energy at all in that semifinal match. He's basically going to be fresh as a daisy by the time main event time rolls around.
Absolutely, man. He's in wonderful condition as it is, but he's in there for 30 seconds.
A horrible break for Andrew Everett. I commend him for trying to gut it out, Cecil. But a bad break.
And going into this, wow, listen to the ovation for a CWF Classic, Lee Valiant.
Gibsonville has made their choice of who they want to see raise that trophy high at the end of the night. And clearly it's Lee Valiant. An incredible story perpetrated by an incredible athlete. Our longtime fans will know that years ago, Lee Valiant was the Mid-Atlantic champion. Lee Valiant was prepared to be the face of this organization, and we all thought that we had finally found the next top star to steer the ship, so to speak, at CWF Mid-Atlantic. Valiant literally had the whole Mid-Atlantic in the palm of his hands and lost his grip.
I mean, life as it is happens, you know, without going too deep into things. I mean, life happens, and it happened to Lee Valiant in a big way.
A series of unfortunate events that put Lee Valiant on the shelf for a year and a half. As referee Joey Hogan calls for the bell, Valiant came back in January of this year to CWF Mid-Atlantic, and this is undeniably the biggest night of Valiant's comeback this 2013 comeback story, as he has got a chance here to climb back to the top of the mountain. The prize for the winner of the Weaver Cup is a guaranteed shot at the Mid-Atlantic Championship. Valiant could become a two-time champion if the fates go his way, whereas they did not go his way years ago. If Valiant can survive Chet Sterling, if he can survive what we now know will be Trevor Lee in the finals,
right,
and if he can successfully cash in that title shot and become Mid-Atlantic champion, we will have seen Cecil Scott, one of the biggest comeback stories ever in Mid-Atlantic wrestling.
A major comeback, to say the least, but the road just got a little bumpier for Lee Valiant tonight with that first match. Coming into this, I predicted that the winner of this Lee Valiant-Chet Sterling match would win the Weaver Cup. I expected Trevor and Andrew to just take it out of each other. Now at this point, I think Trevor Lee is the odds-on favorite.
If circumstances had been different, I think you were right. I think we expected, we anticipated a crazy, wild opening contest, and like we touched on with Lee Valiant, as fate would have it, that is not what we got at all.
No, not at all.
Andrew Everett wrestling against doctor's orders, and literally, I mean, we saw him trying to walk into the ring. Literally within moments, we saw and we knew that he really was in no condition to be there and should not have been there.
No, I mean, I give him an A for effort. I mean, the kid's got a lot of guts. But right now, I mean, Lee Valiant attacking that arm with abandon. This man is on a mission right now. You can look at his eyes. And Lee Valiant, of course, the most experienced man in this Weaver Cup tournament this year.
We talked about the comeback story of Lee Valiant. Let's talk about the summer-long hot streak of Chet Sterling, undefeated all summer long, and that undefeated streak ironically began with Lee Valiant back in the month of May.
Back in Greensboro, as luck would have it, and we're not talking just some no-names, some nobodies that Chet Sterling's beaten. We were talking the Mid-Atlantic champion, Arik Royal. He won that match to get here. He's beaten Ric Converse. He beat Lee Valiant. He's beaten a lot of guys. The beautiful neck snap there. He survived that early attack by Lee Valiant, and Chet Sterling really has things going his way right now.
Chet, oh God, got him with the blockbuster.
Perfect.
Chet, the rookie, making it to the Final Four in his rookie year. Cover almost had him. He made it to the Final Four in his rookie year. It has been done before, but it's a very rare feat indeed for a rookie to make it to the Final Four in his rookie year, and it is unheard of. It has never been done for a rookie to actually win the tournament in his first year. Jesse Ortega had just, I think, a little over a year when he won the tournament back in 2005. Chet Sterling has only got, what, about 10 months as a pro?
Maybe, yeah.
He would be the least experienced man to ever win the tournament if it were to go down that way tonight.
Well, one Mitch Connor was a bright young babyface when he won it, right?
Talk to me, Joey.
No,
he was part of Fatback. I don't know what a babyface is, so cover from Chet Sterling.
He shaved that night.
He was clean shaven. Yes. He does have the face of a noble young babe.
And Chet Sterling, now one thing to mention, well,
hang on, Valiant with that veteran presence gets two.
Now Chet, for the last couple of shows, well, we thought would be going it alone. Trevor Lee more or less abandoned him 2 shows ago. Told him, hey, you're going to beat Arik Royal by yourself. Well, that didn't really happen, but not with Trevor Lee's help.
He did beat Arik Royal, but it was not by himself. It was Nick Richards and Jason Miller who cost Arik Royal his chance to three-peat. They will settle up in a 6-man tag match later tonight that could very well tear the building apart.
I mean, I hope we get hazard pay, or any pay.
One story that we have not touched on yet is, as you just alluded to, Trevor Lee, the leader of the Aftermath. Oh, on cover here, Sterling got his body weight on top of Valiant. Trevor Lee, the leader of the Aftermath.
Whoa,
look at Valiant. Great thinking move from Valiant. Valiant wants this tournament win more than he wants his next breath of oxygen. You can see it all over his face. Every maneuver is trying to get Chet into a pinning predicament. Valiant wants this tournament win so badly. He wants to prove to everybody and to himself that he can climb to the mountaintop again and perhaps one day be Mid-Atlantic champion again. The rookie puts his body weight on and Lee again does not put the weight on the shoulder this time.
And Chet Sterling, what he's done is really remarkable when you think about it, because being a rookie in pro wrestling in general, but especially here in CWF Mid-Atlantic, is a tough road to hoe. I mean, it is a tough task being a rookie in this business. And Chet Sterling succeeded. Oh, hot shot.
Good thinking move right there. Made the best of the situation and hot shot at Valiant across the top rope.
And he's shown a remarkable poise for someone with his level of experience.
Cover here from Chet. Only two. One thing that we have not touched on is we clearly know that it will be Trevor Lee in the tournament finals. Weeks ago, Trevor Lee said to Chet, as you alluded to, that Chet was on his own, that he would not assist Chet anywhere in this tournament. But if Chet pulls out the win here, we will see aftermath versus aftermath. Chet Sterling against Trevor Lee in the tournament finals.
Right, and oddly enough, that would not be the first time we've had aftermath versus aftermath in the finals.
It was not. It was back in 2010, the year that Ric Converse won the Weaver Cup.
Powerbomb.
Oh, heads up. Boom! Great ring positioning. Dead center of the ring, but only got two. When Converse won the tournament back in 2010, he actually defeated his own teammate, Cyrus.
Weaver's revenge that night.
Valiant is poised. Great clothesline on Chet Sterling. The winner of this match comes back in the main event to face Trevor Lee in the Weaver Cup tournament finals.
Oh, beautiful.
Good power slam. Valiant going for another cover. Valiant has gone for cover after cover after cover. Valiant has gone for a tremendous amount of pinfalls early on. Cecil, the sense of urgency in Valiant is there. He does not want to mess around in this semifinal round match because he knows he's got to come back later and potentially try to wrestle Trevor Lee down and win that tournament final.
Oh, missed the elbow. And every second that this match lasts harms these two in the ring more and more. That's less of a chance they have to win this. And I think Lee Valiant underestimated the resilience of Chet Sterling going into this.
We've got a huge 8-match card here, but really 5 matches is not that much of a stretch to rest up for another huge matchup, especially if many more of them end like Trevor Lee's match did. Sliced bread. This is Valiant's baby. He got him right there. He's got the body weight on top. And Valiant wins it. Lee Valiant is going to the finals.
And the win streak of Chet Sterling comes to a screeching halt.
Ironically, the first man that Chet Sterling beat in this win streak is the man to snap it.
Back to the 2013 Johnny Weaver Memorial Tournament by pinfall. 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Lee Valiant!
And you heard it, 7 minutes. He got it done. It's not bad, but he did take some punishment in that match. And I think we're going to have one hell of a finals tonight.
The main event tonight is set. Trevor Lee to face Lee Valiant. The winner will leave with the Weaver Cup trophy and a guaranteed title opportunity. And the summer-long win streak is over of Chet Sterling. Before we get started on the main event of the evening that will decide the 2013 Weaver Cup champion, one big, very important administrative announcement. We are happy to announce that traditionally the biggest CWF event of the year has been finalized. The 30-man CWF Rumble will be right here at the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium on Saturday night, October the 5th. Make your plans right now to be here. Historically, it is the night that anything can happen. It is the night that careers change. And it's going to be right here in the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium, Saturday night, October the 5th. But another career is going to change in just a few moments. The tournament finals, the winner of our main event gets his name engraved on the Weaver Cup trophy and a guaranteed shot at the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship. Please welcome our very special guest tonight and the man who will present the Weaver Cup trophy to the winner of the tournament, 2007 tournament champion, Mitch Connor.
Thank
Mitch, a longtime favorite here at CWF Mid-Atlantic. We are happy to have you here tonight as our very, very special guest, the last man who was ever personally presented the trophy by Mr. Weaver before his passing. Thank you so much for being here. I know that the Weaver Cup is always a very special night for you.
Yeah, Brad, in fact, I would say, and not to brag about my accomplishments, but in my 12-year career, I won almost 20 championships. By far the proudest in-ring accomplishment I ever had was taking home the Weaver Cup trophy, not just because of the competition I had to beat to win it, but because of the tradition it represents. And I don't know, some of you are old enough to remember the old-time Mid-Atlantic days, a lot of you aren't. I can tell those of you who weren't, the Mid-Atlantic wrestling history isn't just comparable to anywhere else in North America, it is hands down the best in North America, if not the world. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying or they don't remember it right.
We're so proud to have that lineage, the history of Mid-Atlantic wrestling that we honor with the spirit of this tournament. Mitch, we are happy to have you here tonight. Randolph Hendrick, let's get started. It is main event time on finals night.
So great to have Mitch Connor with us, a great man. But it's now time for the finals. Trevor Lee making his way to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event, the 2013 Johnny Weaver Memorial Tournament Final. Please welcome, for this one fall, no time limit main event, Trevor Lee!
With us, you can sit with your lovely wife.
And the gigantic Weaver Cup trophy right in front of us here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent tonight, Valiant!
And you can see the stare down before the bell even rings. Both men have a look on their face. Lee Valiant, you can see destiny written in his face. Brad Stutts getting ready to come back with us here after speaking with Mitch Connor.
Had a word with 2007 tournament champion Mitch Connor. It is a big main event feeling here at Weaver Cup Finals night. This is what it all comes down to. Cecil Scott, really, this is what all summer long in CWF Mid-Atlantic comes down to. And look at the concentration on the face of Lee Valiant.
On both men. And by far, this is the biggest match in Trevor Lee's career. For Lee Valiant, I think in his mind, it's the biggest match of his career.
I really think it is. You know, he's been the Mid-Atlantic champion, but he wants to desperately be the champ again. And listen to this crowd. Trevor Lee, love him or hate him, has earned some people's respect, being one of the best in-ring competitors we have in CWF Mid-Atlantic. Valiant has his critics due to the personal problems that took him away from CWF Mid-Atlantic for a year and a half, but universally loved and respected is Lee Valiant. And look at the intense concentration and focus on both men's face. It is main event time, finals night. Johnny Weaver Cup will go to the winner of this bout.
And whoever wins, we have a first-time winner of this tournament. And I spoke about this earlier. Trevor Lee, 33 seconds over Andrew Everett earlier in the night. Took really no punishment. Lee Valiant, 7 minutes, 20 seconds over Chet Sterling. Had a pretty tough match. Chet gave him a tough fight. Will that be the deciding factor? Will his experience shine through? Trevor Lee, many people feel the future, not just of CWF, but of pro wrestling. Along with someone like Andrew Everett. Trevor Lee, he is the future. He's looking at the past and the present of CWF Mid-Atlantic and Lee Valiant. And both men very, very cautious.
Neither man wanting to make a mistake. Like you said, cautious. Neither man wants to be the first one to proverbially stick his neck out. And I gotta say, as they finally lock up here, I gotta say, if you paid attention to the card, as these two certainly have, that's a smart move, because tonight has been a night of upsets, of unpredictability, and a night of really, really interesting turn of events that we have seen tonight. So for either man or both men to wrestle conservatively, to wrestle cautiously, I've got to think is the smart move.
Absolutely. I mean, they've got plenty of time. No, there's no rush, no time limit to worry about right now. There has to be a winner. And Lee Valiant, definitely the crowd favorite. But we're in stark contrast to almost every other match on the card. Everyone, you know, from the word go, trying to end their match. These two settling in, it looks like, you know, ready for a lengthy battle, if that's what it takes.
Collar and elbow tie-up once again. Strength advantage, I would think, would go to Valiant. Both these guys live in the gym.
Trevor Lee deceptively strong, though.
Boy, he really is.
I mean, athletic background in high school, did gymnastics.
Possibly the best athlete in CWF Mid-Atlantic. Possibly the best athlete CWF Mid-Atlantic has ever seen.
I'll go on the record now. I feel like he is the best in-ring performer in CWF Mid-Atlantic right now. His attitude is the pits, but in the ring, I don't think he has any equal right now. That's just my personal opinion. We're going to see if that is the case, though. I mean, he's got really a different animal in Lee Valiant in front of him, somebody who's been there and done that. And some great, great chain wrestling to start this match with, which I expected. I think we're going to get a wrestling match tonight. And Trevor Lee looks like, looks a little upset. Lee kind of showed him up there in the corner. And Trevor Lee's somebody who always likes to have the upper hand. Always.
Of course, one thing we want to mention, Lee Valiant in his 30s, Trevor Lee, a very young man, only 19 years old, not even in his 20s yet. So Valiant not only has the in-ring experience, which a lot of people would say is an advantage, but he's got a lot more years of getting beat up. And when I say beat up, I don't know of anybody that's taken as much punishment as Lee Valiant has over the years, but he's in there with a 19-year-old kid that is strong, that is eager, that is young and hungry. And you gotta wonder, which is better? Is it better to have those years of in-ring experience, or is it better to not have those years of getting pounded on every night in the ring?
It could go both ways. You know, I've actually, you know, speaking of Mitch Connor, had this conversation with him some time ago. One of the greatest jokes that life plays on a pro wrestler is that when you finally start to get it in your mind how this stuff's supposed to work, your body starts to betray you.
That's a great point.
And that's something that we can see here.
So many guys struggle with that. Lee Valiant, I know firsthand, we've always had a great relationship. Well, most of the time we've had a great relationship personally. I have seen Lee Valiant covered in ice packs on Sunday morning to the point that he looked like a mummy. I've seen Lee Valiant not be able to walk down the hall on Sunday morning after grueling matches that we have seen so many times. There's not many people, I might say there's not anybody, that has put their body on the line as much as Lee Valiant has. And he has paid the price for it. Trevor Lee has had some intense, grueling matches, but man, he's got that youth on his side. He's got that veracity on his side. Very interesting contrast.
Very interesting. And there's something to be said in the ring, and a lot of people never think about this. Life experience, not in the ring, but life experience goes a long way. How you handle adversity in life can go a long way to how you handle adversity in the ring. Lee Valiant, as we said, has adversity in life. Trevor Lee has been somewhat privileged in life.
I would say that, yeah.
And
absolutely. You know,
second generation, he came up in the business.
Trevor Lee's father, one of the original Omega standouts, someone who's been around the sport a number of years as a wrestler, as a promoter, and like you said, there is a little bit of that sense of entitlement. You know, Trevor Lee likes to say that he was born from the loins of Omega. He feels like success as a professional wrestler, particularly in the Carolinas, Trevor Lee feels is pretty much his birthright.
Yeah, he feels like it's a foregone conclusion. And thing I've noticed already, every time Lee Valiant gets a little tiny bit of momentum, Trevor Lee rolls out of the ring.
Let me tell you one thing that I think is smart, and I hope I do not eat my words here in a second, but as Trevor Lee continues to try to avoid the fight, Lee Valiant is not approaching him. He is not joining him on the floor. Lee Valiant is making a concentrated effort to not make a mistake, to not be lured into a trap. He is letting Trevor Lee take his time. There is no time limit on this main event matchup, and Valiant is wrestling very smart in the sense that he is not rushing out to the floor. He is not potentially compromising himself. He'll wait around all night if that's what it takes, and I got to think that part of this strategy from Trevor Lee is to try to draw Lee out, and Lee's not letting him have it.
No, it's very apparent that's what he's trying to do. He wants Lee to come outside the ring, or if nothing else, trying to extend the match.
Side headlock from Trevor Lee, really the first offensive moment of the match from Trevor Lee. He spent a lot of the time on the floor.
Hey, Trevor Lee has ungodly stamina, so a long match definitely benefits him tonight.
But one of the longest matches, the longest singles match ever in CWF Mid-Atlantic history, was Lee Valiant against Ric Converse, the Iron Man Challenge, that went a little bit more than 60 minutes. So, you know, Valiant's got that endurance too. That was not that long ago.
Right, but as we said, that life experience. No, how much did life take out of Lee Valiant in those 2 years?
Yeah, but how much has he got left?
Well,
that's the story of this tournament, is Lee Valiant saying, I want to hold that trophy in the air. I want my name to go on it. I want to be the Mid-Atlantic champion again. Trevor Lee goes to the ropes to break. To your point, Cecil, Trevor Lee wasting very little energy, as little as possible, did not fight his way out of it. He went to the ropes.
Even taking a seat on the outside of the ring. Trevor Lee, every motion he makes in this match, everything very slow, very deliberate. Even not when he's performing a wrestling move, when he's just moving around the ring, very slow, very little energy used.
I gotta say, I really think that both guys have learned from the mistakes of others on this card tonight. They are not rushing into things as others have. They are being very deliberate. Trevor Lee talking to the crowd, as he loves to do.
And Lee Valiant's a hothead. We know this.
Boy, howdy, yes he is.
And I think eventually he's gonna lose his cool if Trevor keeps going outside the ring. Especially when he hits a move and he thinks it's ready to start putting things away and Trevor Lee rolls out. Lee Valiant's gonna get pissed for lack of a better word. I've been in the ring with him enough. He loses his cool very easily. He's held it together pretty well so far though. And Trevor, let's not, discount his experience level. I mean, yeah, he's 19 years old. He's been in the business for 6 years now.
And he's been around the sport his entire life. Like we said, second generation. His father, one of the Omega originals. So Trevor Lee has been, horsing around in wrestling rings, setting up wrestling rings, taking down wrestling rings, pretty much his whole entire life.
Absolutely. And a lot of parallels with he and Andrew Everett. He started under a mask at a young age, too.
Very much so.
He's just a scrawny little kid, all of like 5'3" when I met him. And needless to say, he's grown into a man in this ring.
And I got to say, I don't know the status of Andrew Everett's ankle, but I would certainly assume that we will be treated to Trevor Lee and Andrew Everett again in the future.
I can guarantee that.
Cannot imagine the disappointment that Andrew Everett is feeling right now. I know how badly he wanted his name to go on that trophy. Wrestling against doctor's orders. I saw one of our people here at the building earlier this afternoon taping up that knee, that ankle, excuse me, applying, God, it looked like 2 or 3 braces on it, trying to stabilize it. But it was just not to be on this night. As we talked about it earlier, if you've never stepped inside of a wrestling ring, it's an uneven surface, you know, and there's a suspension system. It's an uneven surface, and walking around on that uneven surface, you know, the wrong movement, and you could step in a hole in between the boards or anything, and it took moments before that ankle betrayed Andrew Everett.
No, it did not take long. He took one bad step. And like you said, sometimes the boards become separated. It sounds kind of odd, but the canvas bunches up and you get caught in it. Any number of things can happen.
It's not the same as walking on a floor. It's an uneven surface.
It's like walking on a trampoline. Now, it doesn't feel like one when you fall on it, but like there's the same kind of tension
with
when you walk.
suspension, with the unevenness, right? A firmer surface that you're walking on.
And Trevor outside the ring again.
I really have no idea what he could possibly be complaining about. There's been very little body-to-body contact, and of the body-to-body contact that we've seen, Valiant has done nothing wrong or nothing questionable. Trevor Lee is clearly stalling for time. He is clearly, deliberately trying to force Lee Valiant to make a mistake, and he will not give it up.
Right. Well, it doesn't cost anything extra to complain. And there we go. Lee's coming out.
Now this is what Trevor Lee has been banking on all along. Is it gonna pay off for him?
No.
That's the line.
Another arm drag.
It did not.
And one thing that, you know, really wears you out is when you start building up momentum and you hit move after move and then you have to stop. That really brings you back down. And I think that's something that might play into Lee Valiant. That will wear you out quicker than almost anything. That's why a lot of times in tag matches, guys don't want to tag out because they'll get cold again.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. You know, Trevor Lee, a young man, but away from the ring, I know that, you know, exercise sciences, nutrition sciences, things like that are a big level of interest for him. You might be onto something right there. Cardiovascularly speaking, you know, that he may have been thinking that all along.
I mean, it's a guy. I mean, you can't work out as much as he does and take care of his body like he does and not understand how the human body works. Again, life experience. It goes so many ways. You got to have a brain. And
Valiant does not want the count out. Arik Royal and Chet Sterling set the precedent earlier tonight. What is going on here?
We don't have any water left, guy.
Hydration.
And
the precedent was set earlier in this tournament between Arik Royal and Chet Sterling that the match could end on a countout. A man could advance in the tournament on a countout. And now Lee Valiant is trying to draw Trevor Lee out of his game.
And I think kind of a subtext there, Lee Valiant's already starting to show a little fatigue. How often do you see a guy come out and get a drink of water in the middle of a match?
I don't know, man. I got to think that was more to try to embarrass Trevor Lee.
Maybe more mental fatigue at this point than physical.
No disqualification. A DQ will end things. Oh, never mind.
Hey, it takes less energy to climb up on a step than it does to jump up on the apron.
What? I'll take your chair too.
And Trevor threatening senior citizens on the outside of the ring. And Lee, I feel like, is getting more and more frustrated by the second. The eyes are telling the story.
Lee knows he cannot make a mistake here, but you're right. It is wearing on Valiant.
And if you get angry and you get frustrated, that exhausts you even more. I think Trevor has a very underrated game plan right now, one that we don't see very often in CWF.
You know, we talked earlier about the Mid-Atlantic tradition, and I know that legendary fan John Hitchcock and Bruce Mitchell of Pro Wrestling Torch are here tonight. You know, in a way, it's almost like a Johnny Valentine kind of style from Trevor Lee. He's going to take things deliberately as possible. He's going to wrestle his pace, whether anybody else likes it or not.
Very interesting. I've never seen a rolling headlock takeover.
I got to say, I really think you're right, Cecil. He's trying to frustrate Lee, and he's trying to wear Lee down.
And
he's trying to wear him out early.
And, you know, the Mid-Atlantic tradition, think of, you know, Larry Zbyszko back in the day, or Nick Bockwinkel would just go outside the ring and just antagonize the hell out of everybody and do everything except waste energy wrestling.
Which are not the type of guys that you would normally hear Trevor Lee compared to, but in this instance, I really think you're right.
And he's making children cry, bro.
It's very old school, it's very traditional, I don't think anyone has ever wrestled a match that was this deliberately no wasted motion. Trevor Lee does not want to waste an ounce of energy.
Not a bit. And coming into this, I was ready to compare him to a great Japanese junior heavyweight Koji Kanemoto, but he is right. He's reminding me of Nick Bockwinkel tonight. And I think he would be content to just do this for an hour if he has to.
Well, you know, it's no time limit, so we could end up with that scenario before it's all said and done.
Yo, man, I'm getting hungry. I can't be here all night.
Here we go. Trevor Lee gonna climb in, perhaps.
And interestingly enough, even when he was on top, he had the advantage and he still rolled out of the ring. He needs to watch out, though.
You know, I'm gonna float a theory.
Okay.
Could be way off.
Might be.
But Trevor Lee was on that card last night in Charlotte, North Carolina, too. He wrestled a man by the name of Shane Strickland.
Right.
I wonder if, just maybe, Trevor Lee was in such a hurry to end that match with Andrew Everett. Maybe Trevor Lee has got an injury or an ailment that we don't know about.
Or if nothing else, just the rigors of having a match 24 hours ago. A match stays with you for a few days, especially a physical one. And Lee would be very wise to hold on to this headlock for as long as possible.
Yeah, because he literally may not get a hold of Trevor again for minutes.
Yeah, minutes, hours if it's up to Trevor Lee. But he needs to be careful about getting in the ropes because Red will break the hold.
Trevor absolutely forcing the referee to break the hold.
And got Red Jones between them. No!
Went for a swing, got nothing. Valiant firing away on the head of Trevor Lee. Clotheslines him all the way up and over. Trevor Lee goes out the hard way, and whoa.
I was about to say, he better go after him quickly.
Well, there might still be a fight going on out that back door. I don't know if I'd want to head that way.
Oh, man, I just got my car fixed from the last street fight.
I'm glad that it's not my responsibility to try to break them apart.
And I think Lee Valiant's done with the wrestling part of this match.
You might be right. They take it to the floor. Now a count out, or for that matter, a disqualification would win the tournament. It would advance the other man.
A great man once said, if you're gonna win, make it a win.
Valiant on top of Trevor Lee on the floor.
And this is gonna be a big move for Lee if he gets it.
And he does, suplexed him right there on the floor. You heard the sound of flesh connecting against the concrete floor here.
He needs to get him in the ring now. He may not get another opportunity as good as this one. Or hell, just take the count out.
Counts up to 4. Valiant not gonna take the count out. Valiant putting Trevor Lee back in.
I would have taken the count out.
I firmly believe that you would have, Cecil Scott.
Hey, you get paid the same either way. Flying forearm, and Lee going ahead and trying to put this thing in the bag. That is a move he usually reserves for late in the match.
Vertical suplex to the floor, perhaps? No. Oh boy.
There she go. Neck breaker?
On the apron, that's the hardest part of the ring.
Oh, elbow right to the back of the neck.
Uh-oh. Oh, did not get it. Oh! Kicked him in the face. Uh-oh.
He needs to watch that running punt.
Yes, he does. This is a potential knockout from Trevor Lee.
He has changed so many matches, the complexion of so many matches with this kick. And this is a rare case where there's no one outside the ring for Lee Valiant to worry about. No,
not get it. Oh! And Lee Valiant is just clubbing away.
Now, usually we see Trevor out here with Chet, and before, you know, he kicked him in the face, Ben Tyler.
Missed the leg drop. Uh-oh. This could be that kick. Oh! Took his face off.
Oh, my God. It may have knocked a tooth out of the face of Lee Valiant.
One of the most dangerous moves in CWF Mid-Atlantic right there, and we could see our second count out of the tournament with that very maneuver.
And that's just more of that that really underrated, calculated style of Trevor Lee.
Look at the look on the face of Trevor Lee, resting comfortably. He really looks like a man who feels like he's got this thing in the bag. Valiant is back up. Valiant is still in the fight here. Rolls him away from the ropes, puts the weight on top of him.
Very good cover. No, he didn't hook the leg, but he had his thigh right across the face of Lee Valiant and the rest of his weight on the chest.
Supremely important to have that weight on top of the other man. Hate to bring it up for you, but we saw that earlier with Mecha Mercenary when Kazi was actually able to stack Mecha's own weight on top of him.
Yeah, I mean, weight and leverage is probably one of the most important factors in a pro wrestling match. More so than strength and sometimes more so than ability. If you can understand leverage and technique, you're going to go a long way.
Unbelievable effort so far from both of these guys. The strategy of Trevor Lee, you know, it's going to be tough to say if this thing pays off in the end. But right now, he's in control and Valiant's down on the canvas.
Absolutely, and Trevor's not trying to win any fans or make anybody happy. He's going to wrestle his pace. He'll take all night if he has to. And making new friends outside the ring. And that move was almost no, wow. There was almost no finesse or technique to that move he just did. He just dropped that thigh on the back of the neck of Lee Valiant. And Trevor has really big thighs, you know, not to sound funny, but he's got big legs, big, heavy, strong legs. And he kicks you or drops his weight on you, it hurts.
We talked about Trevor Lee, a 19-year-old kid that pretty much lives in the gym. He lives in the Mid-Atlantic dojo. We talked about the CWF training school earlier. This guy pretty much never misses a training session. He never misses an opportunity to be inside the ring.
No, and he's driven. He's driven by the desire to want to prove that he's just as good as anybody else out there.
Oh, put it in the face. Drop kick, just put it in the face of Lee Valiant.
That was a restaurant quality drop kick. But he wants everybody to know he's just as good as Andrew Everett. He's just as good as anybody on the Northeast independent scene. He is driven by that. You see nasty slobbering all over the place.
He really is a disgusting human being, not for nothing. Really in more ways than one.
And it seems like the focus is on the neck. Everything he's done in the last few minutes has been on the back of that neck.
It really has.
And it's something simple, grinding the elbow. And one thing he's doing, he's not hooking the leg on any of these pin attempts. He's doing that because Lee has to use all upper body to try to kick out. That's going to put more pressure on the neck as he tries to kick out with all that weight on top of his shoulders.
Trevor Lee got about 200 pounds, give or take, maybe a little more, just basically kneeling and sitting on the back of the head now. Red Jones having a word with him. Trevor Lee is firmly in control of the bout right now.
And I think his early game plan worked to perfection, to be honest. He made Lee kind of wear himself out mentally and a little bit physically. And that little skirmish on the outside of the ring got him exactly where he needed to be. And Lee really favoring that neck right now. A nice head scissor.
You know, one thing we got to touch on, as we saw earlier tonight with Andrew Everett, as slow and methodical and deliberate as Trevor Lee is wrestling, Trevor Lee makes his money and wins his matches in about 1 second. And that's that knee strike, the kill shot that no one has gotten up from all year long.
And it's a power by Lee Valiant.
Great move, but he didn't make anything happen out of it.
I think the neck gave out, but you're right. As slow and deliberate as he wrestles, and this is an isolated incident. He takes his time in the ring. He has amazing explosiveness. And I think that deliberate style helps with that. He does not waste energy. So he can explode with a ton of it at one time.
That leaping knee strike is a fight stopper that has fallen Andrew Everett on more than one occasion, including earlier tonight.
I mean, it's one of the great strikes maybe that I've ever seen in pro wrestling. It's up there with the big KO punch from the Big Show or Corey Edsel. You know, the super kick, moves like that. to just take a split second to end things.
That can knock any man out.
Yeah, that Trevor Lee can do it any time. And Lee Valiant biting.
He's got to get out of that hold. He's got to get back in charge of this contest here. Oh.
And the fans trying their best to will Lee Valiant on. He is maybe the biggest hero ever in CWF.
Every now and again, Trevor Lee will do something that is just so athletic and so visually spectacular that people will come up out of their seats for it. But by and large, the crowd is firmly in the camp of Lee Valiant on this one. As spectacular as Trevor Lee can be in moments, I really firmly believe that no one in this building really wants to see Trevor Lee with that trophy at the end of the night.
Besides Trevor Lee.
Besides Trevor Lee.
Maybe Chet.
These people want to see Lee Valiant win the cup here. Valiant trying to fight out. Got a jawbreaker. He's created some space here.
And that's very important right now. He's going for the sliced bread.
Sliced bread has put down Chet Sterling already. Did not get it.
Gut
boy. Right into a pin. Great move. Only two.
And you compare that to the great Russian freestyle wrestler Alexander Karelin. Very similar gut wrench type move there.
Shirley tying up Valiant. I'll say one thing that we have not touched on yet is we have seen a lot of situations where the guys are staying with each other. The guys are staying close together, staying within grasp of each other. Lee Valiant has had to create space to make an opening for himself here. Naturally speaking, not a lot of space being created between these guys.
No, not at all. Trevor Lee, almost a very European style game plan. Not breaking contact, keeping everything very close and very tight. That way he has control at all times. You know, you see that from great World of Sport wrestlers like Rollerball Rocco back in the day. Never breaking contact. And if nothing else, Lee Valiant, if he can keep hanging on, Trevor, there is an outside chance Trevor may quote-unquote punch himself out. You know, if he delivers enough punishment and can't put the man away, he's a young guy. He'll get frustrated.
Boy, I'm a huge Lee Valiant supporter, but this kid is in such good shape, Trevor Lee. I would be surprised if that happened, honestly.
I would too. That's why I said it's an outside shot, but anything's possible.
Oh, fired him hard.
Man alive. And just a very lax cover there.
Lax cover, but it was close. He almost had him.
And I think we're really seeing the extra 7 minutes of abuse that Lee Valiant took, that Trevor Lee didn't take, starting to come into play. And Trevor's still very slow, very deliberate. And I think he's loading up for that knee strike.
He might be. Valiant's looking rough in the buckle. Oh, good Lord, booted him right in the face. You heard the contact. It bounced off the walls here in the Sportatorium. The sound echoed.
And what has Lee got? Looks like a tornado DDT.
Trevor Lee does not let him have it. Oh, my God.
He landed on the back of his neck.
Back struck the buckle. Head struck the canvas.
What power.
Legitimate concern in the eyes of referee Red Jones right now. Overwhelming confidence on the face of Trevor Lee. And Lee Valiant, look on his face, may say knocked out.
And I think we're going to look back at this match and say that was the move. That was the catalyst for Trevor Lee winning the 2013 Weaver Cup.
Trevor Lee, stalking Valiant. He's got to be mindful of the knee strike. Also, he's got to be mindful of the orange crush.
Oh, just punched him in the side of the neck.
Trevor Lee's game plan completely focused. Oh, my God.
And that kick pinpointed again to the neck.
And he has silenced the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium here. No, not for nothing, but as oh, cover. Uh-oh, this could be it right here. We could have a new champ of the Weaver Cup tournament right here. No, not for nothing, but as explosive as these guys normally are, as incredible and spectacular as their offense is, this is a very, very old school, very traditional style match that has unfolded here.
Absolutely. This would not look uncommon, you know, in 1977 in a National Guard armory in Concord somewhere. You know, it's that kind of match. And Trevor Lee's reminded me of a football team that's milking the clock. They're running the ball on every possession, just gaining yardage more and more.
That's a great analogy, but of course there's no physical clock. There's no time limit on the Weaver Cup Finals night. Must be a winner. So the clock really is inside of Lee Valiant. The clock is how much can Lee Valiant take.
Right, and that's kind of what I was getting at. You know, that pound the ball style wears down a defense. And the defense of Lee Valiant is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Every stomp, every suplex, every kick.
Referee Red Jones backs Trevor Lee off.
And of course, Red Jones is the referee that will let a match go even when a guy's hurt. So Lee Valiant, he's taking a lot of abuse. Don't expect Red Jones to really step in there.
These people have never left Lee Valiant's side. We could see a fight stopper right here. Trevor Lee is on the second rope. This could be a fight stopper. Oh my gosh. No! Oh, that was big. That right there, Cecil Scott, might be the moment where we look back and say that Lee Valiant could have just won this thing.
Absolutely. I mean, Trevor Lee took a lot too much time, honestly.
Oh, got him in the throat.
Yeah, he's back.
Questionable.
Yeah, very questionable.
Those thrusts to the throat are technically illegal.
A lot of times referees will let it slide once or twice.
It's kind of like the point of the toe kicks. It's not something that you really see a big deal made of a lot. Trevor Lee is still trying to use that knee. If that knee takes too much punishment, he's going to lose his biggest offensive weapon here.
That needs to be Lee Valiant's focus, and it is. Figure four.
Valiant has got to lock this in, and he does. Trevor Lee is trapped in center ring.
And I don't know. Oh, Trevor needs to watch the shoulders. He may not get a submission, but he may blank and get pinned here.
Concern and fear on the face of Trevor Lee for the first time in the contest. Trevor Lee has turned it over. Trevor Lee has turned it over. No, Valiant turns it back.
And then, ooh.
You're right. He has got to stay focused. If he slips up and leaves those shoulders down too long, we'll see a 3 count. It has happened before.
If you recall, in 1993, Ric Flair won a world title that way over Barry Windham.
Trevor Lee, so strong. I think to your point about those strong legs, he keeps trying to reverse it, but Valiant reverses it right back.
And I don't think the question is, will he tap right now? Well, he might.
Whoa.
I may speak too soon. He's biting his thumb, trying to subvert the pain.
I think this is it. Look at the power. He is not there yet.
He's about an inch away. And normally this is where you'd see Chet Sterling pushing the rope into him.
You heard the breath come out of so many people in the sportatorium, myself included. Valiant holds on an extra 3 seconds.
Lee went for that big pass, and the receiver dropped it. And Lee Valiant and Trevor Lee at this point, his legs are going to be numb for a couple of minutes after that figure four.
Great way to use the rope there. Not
Brilliant.
Technically illegal.
No,
dirty, but not illegal.
Yeah, snapped it right back into the face.
Trevor Lee's hurt. Trevor Lee is wounded for the first time in this bout. Big power slam.
That might be it.
Oh. We're seeing a situation where fatigue has set in. Any near fall, any submission that gets locked in could end the matchup.
And at this point, I think they might be on equal footing as far as fatigue goes.
Oh, Valiant got him by the throat, and Valiant is now going to slug it. Trevor Lee, but does he have as much behind those punches as he would have had minutes ago? Is it too late for the comeback? No. Oh boy. Uh-oh.
O'Connor roll?
Maybe.
Yes. Deep cover.
Valiant is going for the spear.
We've seen him use this before.
Got it.
That might be it.
1, 2, no.
Man, what a great match this is.
What a deliberate match.
Like you said, in the vein of the classic Mid-Atlantic style matches. You know, reminiscent of, you know, the Midnight Express or the Rock and Roll Express, that type of athletic Mid-Atlantic style match.
I'll go even farther back and say maybe like a Johnny Valentine style, or even like you pointed to earlier with Bachwinkle. Very deliberate is what we are seeing. Pace is quickening a little bit here.
He kicked the leg.
Uh-oh.
Go for that gut wrench again.
No, Valiant not let him have it. Walker dropper sends him face first to the canvas. Could that have been it if Valiant had made the cover sooner?
He might still, no, that's a good cover.
It was not. The exasperation and the frustration has set in on both of these guys.
Absolutely, this match has to be approaching 30 minutes by now. I haven't been able to look at the clock, or even if we're keeping time since there's no time limit.
Time's always kept. But like you said, it's no time limit, so I mean, we really could see a match that goes well into the morning hours here. I don't know if both these guys can last that long.
I don't know either. And Lee Valiant, this match, just a microcosm of his life right now. Things weren't going his way early. He had to fight from the bottom. Oh!
Trevor Lee lands atop of Valiant in a car crash, and he is going to go for the cover and the win.
Oh, no. Lee Valiant with a horrible grimace on his face. I think his ribs are hurt. And it's another step back, another pothole in the road of Lee Valiant right now.
Ow. Heel kicks to the kidneys in the back. Devastating.
Man.
Take your heel and just jam it into somebody's kidneys and see what happens.
And that hurts a lot. You know, kicks to the liver, to the kidneys.
You heard the smack of the flesh here. Valiant has taken such a beating.
But the heart is still beating.
Oh, yeah.
The heart never stops pumping blood into Lee Valiant.
Uh-oh. Counts up to 4.
Trevor better be careful.
Disqualification would cost him the trophy, the tournament, and the title shot.
Man, I think Red Jones is going to be a little bit more lenient than usual, but not much.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do. Trevor Lee, with focus in his eyes, is scaling the top rope.
Not, believe it or not, not something you see Trevor do often. And what do we got here?
Oh, came down hard. I think it was going to be a big double stomp, but he came down hard on the leg.
And he jammed up his knee.
Valiant wants to go back to the figure. Ooh, hit the post.
That post has been a mess tonight. German, Everett style German suplex.
Trevor's shoulders are not down.
Ooh.
Valiant's are not either.
What an amazing bridge.
Perfect bridge. Trevor Lee made sure that his shoulders were not down, but at the last second, Valiant got his shoulders up as well.
And Trevor Lee has not, I don't think he's used even half of his repertoire of wrestling moves.
Have not seen the knee strike, have not seen the orange crush yet.
And not to mention, I mean, this is a guy capable of pulling out something you've never seen him do.
I want you to look at what took your spot. I want you to look at the next man.
The intensity of Trevor Lee is palpable in this building right now.
And at this point, Trevor Lee could do whatever he wants. He's got the match firmly in hand.
No! God! Valiant with his own knee strike has sent Trevor Lee to the floor. Bad luck once again. If Trevor Lee had gone down in the center of the ring, I gotta think the match would be over right now.
I would think so. The shot that takes you down is the one you don't see, and Trevor did not in any way, shape, or form see that coming.
Unbelievable. The fight is going to the floor, it looks like, but how much fight exists in these two men at this point in time?
And the glare of the Weaver Cup trophy blinding me over here on the ringside. It has to be blinding the vision of these two men. The biggest match of Trevor Lee's career. And like I said, in the mind of Lee Valiant, the biggest match of his career. He needs this more than anything.
I gotta think it's gonna be the big HBK style elbow. Yes, it is. Boom, got him on top. This is it.
No! And everybody in the building. He put up the shot. It went off the front iron.
Boy, so much pressure on referee Red Jones right now. I gotta say, he's doing a great job. Another cover from Valiant.
Hook both legs.
And now Valiant is in control. Trevor Lee is wasting energy. Trevor Lee must survive. Trevor Lee must see how much fight he has got inside.
This is a career performance by Trevor Lee tonight, but it may be slipping away. He's pointing at his jaw.
I think that jaw was broken back in February.
It's kind of hanging there. He can't close his mouth.
Did Valiant just re-break the jaw of Trevor Lee?
I think that knee strike broke his jaw.
Sliced bread!
Schoolboy, no! Oh!
Kicked him in the face! Orange Crush, this is it! Oh, God, he fell awkwardly. 1, 2,
no!
Trevor Lee has not won it!
Oh, my God, and Lee Valiant wisely rolling out of the ring.
Trevor Lee is holding that jaw. I swear to God, I think the jaw of Trevor Lee that was broken in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania back in February has been broken again.
That's highly possible. He looked out here to his dad at ringside and was pointing at his jaw.
Trevor Lee has got to get Valiant back in the ring, or Valiant has got to get Trevor Lee back in the ring. Dangerous situation on the floor as ringside spectators are scrambling away.
I said it was a career performance by Trevor Lee. At this point, this is a career performance by both men. Lee Valiant's been there. He's been in the big matches. I don't think he has ever shown more guts than he's showing right now.
Lee has got to get back in the ring. Uh-oh, what is this now?
Trevor's putting him up against the post.
Oh, boy.
That neck against the post. Oh, God. Oh, he kicked him right in the side of the head.
Absolutely gruesome.
That's really uncomfortable to see. And I see kids outside covering their faces.
We've got grown women right here next to us covering their faces.
And I saw a young man, you know, all of 5 or 6 years old, crying at ringside earlier.
Trevor Lee is pulling the pads back.
What is he going to do?
I have no idea. Referee Red Jones is giving them a lot of leeway right now.
And look at the look on Trevor's face.
I believe Trevor Lee is bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah, he was wiping the blood on his own chest earlier.
That jaw really might be broken again.
It looks like he's trying to work it back into place, so it might just be a busted lip, hopefully. I don't wish a broken jaw on anybody.
Oh my God, he's going for the Orange Crush on the floor, Cecil.
No way.
Lee did not get it. Oh!
Sliced bread on the floor!
Oh, they fell in a heap on the floor.
I don't think we're gonna have a Weaver Cup champion.
They crashed in a heap on the floor.
Red Jones not administering the count. He's checking on both men.
Referee Randolph Hedrick, also a ringside photographer. You may have just heard him on the broadcast. Both men are busted open on the floor.
And I think Red Jones is indicating to us that they were busted open as well.
Red Jones looks frustrated.
He's got to count.
He does,
no choice. A slow count. Oh, man. Not this way. We can't have a double count out in the finals.
Both men are down and hurt, and referee Red Jones is looking at me, looking to us.
What the hell are we going to do?
It's up to 7.
Nobody's moving.
We've never had this happen in the tournament finals before. What? Wait.
I see Lee, stand up.
That's a double count out.
Oh, no.
Mr. Official, Mr. Official.
Red Jones coming over this way. He's saying we got to have a winner. We got a conference at the timekeeper table. I want to listen in real quick.
Gentlemen, Red, I know you know the rule book. It's clear to me here. The bylaws of the Weaver Cup and the spirit of the Weaver Cup are in agreement on this one. Neither of these men came here to take home half a championship. We need to go to a fall. We need to go to a fall. Someone's going to take that home. Someone's got to go home with nothing.
If they can physically continue, let them go. If they may mess it up, let them go.
No BS count out in the Weaver Cup final. Are we just going to give him another count?
We're back on.
We got a bell. We're going to keep Keep going.
Red Jones says we are back on. Trevor Lee still alive. Lee Valiant still alive. Someone is bleeding pretty bad.
Man, I see it all over Lee Valiant's arm.
Ringside, someone at ringside just told me broken nose. I don't know if that's Valiant. Look at the nose on Trevor Lee. Lee Valiant may have a broken nose right now.
He may have landed on the concrete when he did that that sliced bread.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh man, we're gonna see that spear again. Here it comes.
Oh God! Like a bullet, like a gunshot.
It's like running into a brick wall. That's it.
Oh! 2! Red Jones says 2!
What does Lee Valiant have left?
He's got the heart of somebody that desperately wants to prove every critic wrong. He wants to prove that he can overcome his demons, that he can win in the end. Lee Valiant is not fighting Trevor Lee right now. To your point, Cecil, he is fighting his life experiences, but the knee pad is down. Cecil Scott, are we gonna see the kill shot that has floored so many men? Is that Lee Valiant's fate here?
Not every story has a happy ending, and we may see that right now. Lee,
small package. 1, 2.
And Lee Valiant, with the heart of the Mid-Atlantic pumping inside of him, his namesake Jimmy Valiant.
What are we gonna see here? Both men are up. Sliced bread. No. Oh God!
He got the Trevor knee! That's it!
Trevor Lee has won it!
The 2013 Weaver Cup champion!
Perhaps the most emotional Weaver Cup finals we have ever seen. And Trevor Lee has won it!
45 minutes and 30 seconds. Wow. By pinfall, the 10th annual Johnny Weaver Cup champion, Trevor Lee.
And say what you want to about Trevor Lee. He earned every last bit of it.
And he's stepping on the Weaver Cup. Good grief. What a piece of work.
Just stepping on the memory of Johnny Weaver.
Trevor Lee has won it. And God bless Lee Valiant, but he has struck out. He has struck out in his bid to be Mid-Atlantic champion again. Valiant is hurt real bad. Valiant is hurt real bad. Thank you so much for joining us. The 2013 Weaver Cup champ is Trevor Lee. We will see you in October.